honest. So there's two things going on here for me, not for them, but for me, I constantly have this issue with people misunderstanding. And only recently, I think it's been a couple of months, I've made peace with that. Um, because it is something that no matter how much I explain, people don't hear it. And I the part that was still keeping me in that place was the fact that when someone comes to me, especially if I don't have very many people coming to me at that time, I will think, okay, well, they're supposed to come to me because it's so specific. But you never know. It might not be that, right? There's always that edge or whatever. Um, but yeah, so I kind of making this video for them. I don't know if they're gonna see it, but I'm just gonna make it anyway. So we went back and forth a lot, and I'm gonna go through all the things. So yeah, that's one thing that is upsetting a bit, is that I'm constantly having to do that, and it doesn't do anything but make it worse. And so I saw myself doing that same pattern, and I pulled out. Because I sent them a video about, which you guys can all see, the philosopher of infinity. And there was some good in it, in the fact that I could see that they completely cannot, it's like we're speaking different languages. Like, it's just not, which happens. Um, it means that they're in a different reality that is like not even close to the reality I live in. But yeah, so that is what happened to me. That's how I feel about it. That's my part in it or whatever. But in the back and forth, this person continuously talks about religion, and it's under an old, this is why it triggered me. It's an old video and old series that I had called Practicing with Energies. And I created this because I know that they're seeing from a very fear, it's not even the religion, it's people that were afraid when they read a religious text, basically. So it's not even the actual religious text, it is the dogma, it is the fear behind it, right? But that's the lens that they have, and they also had a bad experience. So with that lens and with that thing, they approach me, and this is like something that I see, and I even asked them, I said, you need to step back for a second and say, would you actually talk to a person like this? There's a lot of disrespect online. There's a lot of disrespect with people having, I've nicknamed it kind of because for me, psychosis means where you're not sure what goes where, and you just, you either assume or you put things on those things because you don't know what goes where, right? And that is like, I'd say that's like a existential type of psychosis, and that usually I can speak with people because they're like, I have no idea what's going on, blah blah blah, right? But when people have a type of psychosis where they have chosen to choose from a bad experience that's horrific, choose the words that someone else talked about, another human, to explain that experience. Instead of just talking about what happened to them, they put a spin on it. So, for example, they said that a demon came to them and asked to do a ritual or whatever, or they tried to be a part of this thing. And they said, yes, I guess, I don't know. And they saw it, apparently, I don't know. That's what it looks like from what they've said. I personally have not done things like that. I have not summoned anything. And I also don't like that if someone doesn't like this experience, why are they assuming and putting that on me and saying that I'm doing that and I'm telling people that they're doing that. But anyway, back to that series. So I created that series because I noticed that when you start looking inside yourself, you're like a seed. So seeds, if you open a seed and you were to look at all the little things in the seed, it would have instructions of how to grow, what to do. You know, we know this about even our body. We know that we develop, we have maturity and physically. But this also happens in your infinity inside as well, because it's connected to it. You can't like take away that layer. So even if you consciously are not watching yourself grow inside, you will. You will. Very slowly, but you will. The more aware you become of what is growing within you, the more it becomes bigger and more a part of your life. And so that can come out, that can be externalized. And the way it's externalized is your communication and connections with other people, right? So, for example, they are now singling me out. They picked a video again that's very old. I think it's at least it says on here 1 year, but I think it's at least 2 years old. Like I have a whole different look and everything. Where I was being very vulnerable about um, people not coming and talking on my videos. And because I mentioned Odin, she was like, "Who's Odin?" Because she's trying to do the look what you're doing creepy things. Like I'm giving her a voice because I'm just like, what is going on? Like I don't even know her. That's the other thing that I don't like when people do this. The disrespect people have when I'm giving them attention and I'm patience and time in the comments and also replying to them when they're actually treating me really poorly. They don't see this. They don't see the I don't like saying this, but the imbalance. That's pretty gross. There's someone who's willing to take the time and speak to you about these wild things you're talking about. I'm not even insulting, and I could be insulting because the things that they have said are pretty like they're stupid. Because stupid to me means that you see something in front of you and you choose to pick something else. That's what stupidity means to me. And this person has not indexed. That's what indexing is. Indexing is saying, okay, well, okay, I know the definition of this word because I can speak the language, but what does it mean to me? When I use it and I choose that word and I use it a lot, not that, but if you use a word a lot, like God, for example, people do not look into that. They would say the highest, the All Father, they would say all these kind of nicknames that other people have said. That doesn't come from you. That doesn't come from you exploring yourself. Now, when I explored myself, I I can see how everything's put together and how you can talk to everything inside you. And not everybody talks to everything. Sometimes you feel things, but we all ignore that, right? So these are your stories inside. It is the blueprints of the seed that you are. So when they come alive, and you decide that the story that you are talking about has the same storyline or vibe as one of the God stories or those kind of things, you're doing the same thing as if you were to just sit and have a conversation. And I'm pretty sure this person that's been having a back and forth with me, I'm pretty sure that they don't do that. I'm pretty sure they don't ask themselves when they stand in line or something like that to get a coffee. I'm sure they don't stand in line to get a coffee and go, what, do I, but they don't think about those things. They just go, I'm going to order. Like they don't think, oh, what is like bubble? Like there's no thoughts happening at the same time. We do think, but I mean, there's no conversation about how are we feeling. Maybe I shouldn't have, I know this is like a stupid example, but maybe I shouldn't have coffee today because I have heartburn. Because you're like checking in with your body. You're speaking to your body. Or you someone's like, "Oh, you got to get this done right now." And they're just like an email or something and your body is feeling tight and you ignore that and you start that's what I'm talking about. You can go deeper into that and name them things. So let's say you have a common occurring thing going on, which in that video, I'm going to give that video as an example, the video that she tried to target with Odin. It was about a person who's a content creator. And I recently kind of feel better about this sadness that I talked about and was vulnerable about. But I don't even know if like I don't know, this is also making me sad again, so I don't know. It's like you when you have these wounds and you work with these wounds and you listen to these wounds, it doesn't mean that you're like, "Oh, you're done." Like it's still sad. But basically the that person, they want something and they are doing all these things to get that thing. And I see them in a different way. So they see these other creators or whatever as what she wants. And I see those creators as not like what I would want. And she has what I want, but she doesn't want that. Does that make sense? So it's like a weird little layer thing. And so at that point, I was going through something else, not that. That is like a thing that's happening all the time where I'm sad, but that's why that's just one video. But that one thing I talked about, it was basically just that, where I just like um sorry, I was just thinking about how it's funny that I'm doing this through a live thing to make it like a private live. But anyway, yeah, so I'm like, why am I doing this? But whatever, it's okay. Um so yeah, so when I do that, when I'm in that like situation where I'm having this common theme going on, and I noticed that there are symbols around that resemble that. I'm like, okay, so this is the part of myself I am gonna look into. So like, let's say it's about Odin. I keep getting symbols about Odin. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna like go and talk to this externalized god, blah, blah, blah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the stories humans have portrayed about this symbol. It could be a cat. It doesn't even, it could be Odin, it could be a cat, it could be Aphrodite, it could be a seashell, it could be peaches. Peaches was a big one for me for a while. And so what I do is I embrace that time. And so it's almost like an era, almost. I'm like, I'm in my peach era. And so like my art will reflect it, the way I talk about things will reflect it. And because I've gone within so deeply, I can speak to that theme as well. So if I'm like in a peach theme, let's say the feeling of peach, because the thing is we're humans. Everything is like, there's untangible things in infinity. There's a reason why, I know you're like weird with God and stuff, but there's a reason why God doesn't have a name. God isn't even the name. There's no name because it's everything. How can you name it? So when someone says God, they're actually talking probably about Christianity. And when I say Christianity, I mean the pop culture Christianity. Like if someone says God. And the actual Bible, which is part of Judaism, it's Yahweh. So it's like, okay. And then some people decide to say the Most High. Like everyone says these different things, but these are all names for very specific stuff. When you feel like you're right, it means that it's not actually God, because everyone's right, but they're right in a piece. So that's not how it is. You're not talking to dead people. You can't talk to dead people because dead people don't exist. You're actually talking to probably most of the time a part of either you, which is in your memory because that's a deeper thing, or you're talking to like the bigger version of that human. I mean, there is things that you can do where you connect with them, but most of the time these people are not talking to that. So like when you were bringing up the stuff about death stuff, I'm like, why are you even talking about that? Because that means that you haven't even explored within what death is. Like while we're alive, we die as well. We die when we transform. Maybe you haven't transformed, so you don't know what that feels like. But that's what death is. Death is a transformation. So it doesn't even make sense. How can you be talking to transformation? You would be talking to a bigger intelligence. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not possible. Now, you can't talk to thought forms. Thought forms is a messy subject, especially since, I mean, I can talk about it for other people, but this person that's talking, I'm sure so just don't listen to this part. That person that's right, if you are listening to this, I don't know. So basically, I want to talk about also the weird contract thing in a second. So basically this is actually a part of it anyway. So thought forms are what you think, the mean things that you said to me, the happy things you say to people, all the thoughts, I nicknamed that. It's more than that. Every decision you make, what you spend attention and time on. So me spending time on you, people would say, why are you wasting your time? This person doesn't get it. I don't see it that way. I see it as it is important, and if I feel it's time to stop, I will. And I did a few times, but now I'm like back into it clearly. But I don't think so. It goes into the collective of our thoughts. And basically what you do, and this is how this dimension is set up, it's a learning teaching dimension. That's the style of what is here to do. There's other dimensions that have different styles. And like I said, we're all here at the same time, but we're focused to that, if that makes sense. You guys can watch my videos, whatever. So you can go on Pinterest. You can go on my TikTok. I have them pinned to the top of the page. Whereas here, they don't let you pin things, so I can't say that. And I just don't. I'm so tired, you guys. Like I'm going to a different, more academic situation, and I can't wait for that because I just won't even answer these anymore probably because I'll be talking to people who actually want to talk to me, which is what I've been dreaming of. So, but anyway, so this is so ridiculous. I can't even believe it. But it's like I said, it's worth it. It's worth it that this even could touch someone in the sense that they understand this. So yeah, so when the way it works is that so the way we think about life is when we wake up in the morning, not only is it us, we do stuff too. I'm not gonna talk about that because that's, I mean, if you guys want, I can. I don't know. This is new because I usually don't talk on for YouTube. I usually do it on TikTok. So I don't know, maybe this happened so I can start doing YouTube. I don't know. I always get really creepy comments on YouTube like this, like these ones that this person did. And if you guys want to see, they did it on my Infinity of Velocity video, but they did the most on my practicing with energies with like a demon thing, which I'm just like, oh my god. Um, it's just so old, and it's just such an old way of helping people. Like I don't even do that. I don't even care about that anymore. Like I don't even know if it helps people. Like who cares? Like it's not even important. Like I've done other things with people that actually help people. That is just one of the tools people can do to help themselves learn about themselves inside. And if it doesn't work, whatever, I don't know. You can tell I'm over it. Like I'm over this behavior. But I'm so excited for still, like that's what keeps me going, that there will be people who are excited. Like I mean, and they said they pulled out all this weird stuff as well. So yeah, wait, let me finish this and I'm gonna go to that as well. The personal weird stuff that's not even about me. They just make up stuff about me, which is so weird. Like that's happened a lot. I don't know why they do that. And it's funny to me because I'm like, okay, like they're just, it doesn't even make sense, but whatever. Um, so I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so these thought form things. So there is corruption, and the corruption is in many different layers. There's corruption through humans, which this person went through, and they decided to be a part of that corruption. I'm not interested in that. I don't like stuff like that. So, and I will talk about that in a second. And that's why also I'm like, ew, like, why are they even saying this? So there's that kind of corruption. And then there's a layer of corruption of the stories that have been played out in creation. And so there are, I don't know what to call them, but they're intelligences that are native to our, like, I guess it depends. It's native means that they were created in that area or whatever. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm going to just keep skimming things because like you guys can listen to this stuff. I have it all over the place, and later I'm going to have like an actual thing where people can just, I'm going to say you need to go to that. But right now I don't have that. I have just videos not just, they're like very helpful videos. Like I even draw things and stuff. So anyway, so with the thought forms we create and think and do and see all of the stuff, they become the building blocks for those intelligences. So if those intelligences, the way they were created, was a corruption or something happened where they were discarded and in pieces, which is there's so many reasons why, and this person like has no idea because all they have read is like Chat GPT Bible stuff or whatever. I don't know. It's like weird. Like this person has not given me any new information except for, it's not even new, but it's them, is the experience they had. That's the only thing they did. Everything else was just like weird copy paste stuff. That's like, I'm not interested in that. So boring and weird. I don't know why people do this. Anyway, you guys. Okay. So anyway, so it's just such a waste of time. We could be having so much fun talking about like cool stuff. Like, why does it have to be like this? Or transforming. Like, if you do have a horrible thing, I'm here for you to help you transform that creepy situation so that um you can have like compassion for others that do go through it. That's what we get from that. Not even get, I hate that word. But anyway, so back to this. So there is corruption in that. And most of it comes from humans. Most of it. Because humans are interested in getting shortcuts and weird stuff. So the shortcuts that they do are stupid things like you brought up, like um, getting money and famous and all that crap. That's not even important. That is what it happens. That's what these people are doing. Being like taking up space and being powerful. It's not even powerful. Powerful's inside. So how is that powerful? If you create creepy war things and take over countries, how is that powerful? That's not inside. So they're not powerful. They're just buttholes, right? That's what it is. But they do all these things. I'm aware of them. I've seen them. They are disgusting. They have done so many gross things. And this is why I don't appreciate that someone who did decide to do this is putting this on me. And I would love still to help people even that have done dumb things like this. That's how much I'm passionate about this. This is why I'm here. So even though someone's doing something that I think is absolutely disgusting or they did it, I really don't appreciate that they're accusing me of that. Even with all my patience. How nice is that, right? So this is what they did. This person in the comments, they said that they went, I don't even know what this means, but I kind of do because it's like, what the hell? It's not, it's very mysterious and not direct. And I don't like that. I think that's disgusting and disrespectful to everyone. But basically they said, oh, the 1%, like cliche stuff. I decided to be a part of the 1%, so I became part of this group, like whatever the hell that means, which is probably a cult or something. And you that then all of a sudden the demon came to your living room. I don't know, I'm just saying this because the way you said it was boring. I'm adding some elements. They came to in front of you or behind you and they said that's all they can do. And then now you have demons in your house or whatever. And then you mixed it with me and started saying, oh, your kids are going to, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you're drunk. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on, like why people do this. But I'm just using this as an example because, like I said, me putting this out there is important because people should not be treating. I'm just doing this because when people have bad behavior. And when I say bad behavior, I mean they're not being considerate. And I'm the most patient person, and I love helping people who are feeling unempowered and giving their power away. And when they come to me and they're exciting, but I don't appreciate people treating me this way. I don't appreciate people projecting their stuff on me when I'm holding up a mirror for them to see what's going on. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate people taking advantage of my patience. Just because this is my passion doesn't mean I should be treated that way. And I'm going to keep saying it. If someone does this, I'm going to do this if I need to because it's not right. And I don't think anyone should have to put up with this. It doesn't make any sense. We're fellow humans trying to figure out life, and some people have found some things that are helpful and have gone deeper, and some people haven't. You are obsessed with death in a really weird way where you keep saying that it was really funny because before you left these comments, I was talking to my partner about how evil actually is people, like, when people talk about evil and good, evil is holding on to and not transforming and refusing to live. So it's not actual death because death, I'm talking about like the death people see as death. It's holding on to something and not transforming it and keep acting in that wound over and over and over again and cannibalizing it. And this can happen in many layers. It can be a person, it can be a structure, it can be all kinds of stuff, right? So that's what evil is. When someone says evil, It comes from that. So if they think it's an evil spirit, that is something that happened where that happened. Where like let's say it's a planet or an energy was transforming and that one refuses to transform with the other one. It stays there and is stagnant. So that would be an evil entity. It stays there and it eats whatever is around it because it refuses to expand. So the funny part about this is that your type of comments are basically that. The thing that you're talking about with evil and demons and all this stuff, you're just getting so into the way humans have written about it, and you don't realize that your actions are this. It's about keeping old dead. It's like a graveyard. You're even going through my old videos. You're going through my graveyard of my life and saying, see? And I've already moved on. Even that video I showed you is the newer one on here. On TikTok, there's newer ones. Even that one is old because I don't have new things on here. And like, it's very wild to me. But anyway, that's what that is. And the good that people says is actually life. It's going to the next day. When you wake up in the morning, even if you pretend that you want to stay in the day before, you can't. And that's when people say light always wins, good always wins. That's what that is. It's going forward. It doesn't win. That's a human way of looking at it. You move forward. And if you keep looking at yesterday and being like, oh my God, blah, 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 like all that stuff about yesterday, it means that you're taking old like gravestones and graveyards over to your new life. Now, you can bring those things if you transform it, alchemize it, those words. So let's say this interaction. Me doing this is my way of alchemizing it. I'm not sitting there being like, oh my God, this person is being so rude to me and horrible. Why are people always like this? I did that for a second. But then I did, okay, I'm like, I'm going to alchemize this. I'm going to make sure that this interaction doesn't become wasted space, energy, and makes this environment for everyone in the world gross. I'm going to make sure that this makes it better for the world. I tried talking to you back and forth in a patient way, but I'm like, I'm going to make this long video. It's now 27 minutes. I'm making this long video. So this is what I'm going to do. If people are being weird like this, I'm just going to counteract it. I'm going to counteract it with, instead of explaining myself, I'm going to just counteract it. But anyway, so people doing these, and also, by the way, when you do contracts and stuff, you don't have to, like, that's stupid. Like, why would you give, now that you know that those thought forms are, oh, I didn't say, so those thought forms are stolen by those creepy groups, like cults and stuff like that, and they send them around and they do gross stuff, and then people are like, those are demons. And they want you to think that because then you go, oh, a demon, oh, I just need to be good, and like, you know, people get stuck. But actually, it's those stupid people that are stealing from the pot of all the people's thoughts and things like that and putting their creepy stuff in it. And you can do that too. You can do it on your own. It drains your energy and makes you feel like gross. I don't like that. Have not made contracts. I've not called in things. As in, like, you know, like those creepy things in those books. They're absolutely disgusting. They come from a situation where these people wanted to make these poor women who were doing medicine, things like helping with nature, and they wanted to make them creepy of what they do, which is absolutely disgusting. And so people thinking this, that these like rituals of getting a demon and putting them down, like, why would you do this? Why would you do this when those are technologies or whatever you want to call them inside you? They're stories that are inside you. And you're going to see them different depending on the life you've lived and also who you actually are. You will know. So like if this person is so caught up on that one video and now like is like getting into it, because I told them, I said, you should look at stuff. So maybe they did it because of that. I'm not sure. But let's say they didn't. They're obsessed with that video. And they're obsessed with demon things. And I don't know, they were telling me like under my infi- my philosophy of infinity, under that video, they were saying that I'm doing necromancy, which, oh, I didn't say. That's the funny part. Oh yeah, I didn't finish that. So when I said, okay, so there's the evil, right? There's the evil where you're just like bringing dead stuff with you that's like not transformed. And then there's the good, which is just creating something new from inside with God, because that's what this person likes, that language. I don't need to call them God. I can call them infinity because like that's more accurate. God is too specific and it makes people think of religions and stuff. But it's the same thing. Like it's basically doesn't have a name. So no name, which is everything. um no name, which is everything. Basically that is what it is. It's life. It's what you do. It's like how you know, it's all those things, because then there's light, there's life, there's all those things that come from it. They're emanations of infinity, right? They're the part of the creation story. So even you can talk to those parts and that's still God, right? It's not God like the one that people talk about in the religions, because that's more specific to here. That's different. But that's still in you as well. Even if you are not from that, you still have that in you. So, oh my God. And also the other thing about, just to add also, possession. Possession is basically you letting that overcome you. So like this person is letting those parts of, I don't know what in this situation, because they're all over the place. They were pretending like they said that I don't have children, that I'm bringing demons into the house with my children. And what was the other thing? What am I going to do when I talk to God, and which I said I already do. What am I going to do when I talk to God and all my car, my house, my children and my family and my money is gone? I'm like, well, they're already gone. So I don't have that. So I don't know. So like these things where they're like, I don't know, like it's this weird thing. I don't know how to say it, but they have this thing where they're like, if you have this, then you're not gonna have I don't have it. And then they said something like, how much are they paying you? No one's paying me. I'm just doing this. Like right now I'm in the studio where I make little art stuff. No one's paying me. I'm just living my life. I'm just talking to you, unfortunately. But you know what I mean? Like I'm spending my time. This always cracked me up. I've been doing this for years. And when people come on the live and they're like, "Oh, you're making so much money. You're a scammer." And I'm like, "If I was making money, which is funny anyway, cuz like why not? Because everyone has to make money to do it. But if I was making money from this, I would be on the street and I would be dead." This is not how you get money, and you shouldn't, because there's no point. Like you could try. um but you should put prices on things in a very thoughtful way, because that is a type of way of people learning about respecting themselves. So you can do that, but you don't rely on it and you don't expect it, and you do things where everyone gets a chance to chat. That's how I look at it. So anyone can talk to me in different ways. It's just there's going to be specific reasons why and boundaries for each thing. And it's only for that. I do not make money from this. Like, and I don't want to, because, like, why? Um, anyway. And it's not like it's just stupid. I tried to do that at one point where I'm like, well, why not? That'll be easier, because then I can put more time and energy into the stuff. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to do it for the love of it. And if people want to do it and they want to come and we work together, which I have really cute a group of people, then yeah, let's do it. But like, can you imagine? Like, oh yeah, I'm counting on you, whatever her name is, this person that's been doing the back and forth. Can you imagine me counting on someone like this, who's coming to me and like telling me these things? Like, come on, let's be realistic. I hope that you're watching this and you hear that part. Like, can you imagine? Like why? And that I was never trying to tell her like, whatever, and like provoke her or whatever. I'm just explaining myself, which, like I said in the beginning, that I get triggered and then I do that. I was just explaining myself. I'm like, you're misunderstanding me. You're misunderstanding what I'm doing. You're misunderstanding that this comes from love and it comes from inside and from my heart and from um, what you recognize as God. It is life. It is love. It is coming from lots of pain that's been alchemized. And I can show people how to do that. So that old video of me talking about even the gods and things like that, that is to show you this. It's to show you that you can heal through these things. Now, expecting an entity to come to you and make deals with them and tell them to do things, no. That's not how it works. And if you're doing that, you're talking to a thought form that's probably connected to something corrupt. So nothing is going to do anything for you. Even I can't do anything for you. I can show you things and show you a mirror. I can show you things I've done so that I can see myself deeper. But no one can tell you anything. They do not have authority. You have authority, even if you don't know it. You're the one that has authority. You have the authority to repeat and be a cannibal and eat the same things over and over again. Same energy, same energy, same energy. Same book, same book, same book. You can do that. But you can also live. You can also bring new things to the table. Nothing, like I said, nothing that you said was new. Nothing was new. There was nothing fresh that I can take from that and be like, wow, people are really struggling with this right now. I think I can make some videos with this to help this person and more. There's nothing I can get from what you said, except for me to alchemize this and talk about all the topics we talked about. Your gotcha thing. Gotcha. Who's this? Who's Odin? Going in my graveyard. That kind of mentality is just, it's going to eat you alive. It's cannibalism. You're eating your same energy. Gotcha. When all I'm doing is trying to show you about yourself. So can you imagine I'm showing you a mirror and you're trying to get me and trick me and tell me I'm gross. That doesn't make any, it's a waste of your time. Are you okay? Like, I'm just saying, like, you guys really need to, this is me being real. You really need to see, I'm an opportunity to show you a mirror. I am triggering, but that is because, and it's with love. And I also won't leave you hanging if you actually don't, if you actually are nice to me. I won't leave you hanging. Even this, like, she's been so not nice, and I feel like, I don't know, it's probably something I still haven't finalized or worked on. I still feel like I should keep going. There are times where I do stop myself, but I just can't help myself with this for some reason. I mean, like I said, when things are existential and they're about bigger things, like infinity and like big things, I feel very confident in helping people having a psychotic kind of, not psychotic, but psychosis a bit, like soft psychosis, like spiritual psychosis, not actual like stuff that needs prescriptions or people that are going to help, structure that. Not that. I mean like spiritual. So where you're just like, you're okay, you can still live your life. Like you don't need, like I said, help from a professional therapist or something like that. It's that you are having inside, you don't know what's going on. That is in those people, especially if they're respectful and come to me and need help, I can just redirect them inside themselves and how and why, like make it easier on them. Because when you're in a crisis situation like that and you're like, oh my God, I just don't know how to handle this, it is helpful for someone that it is helpful when there's someone that reminds you of who you are, not who you are, but reminds you to go within. That's what I mean. Like not who you are, but like, because that is who you are. Within. So if there's someone who can carefully with different tactics, because they've tried them out, try those things to be able to remind yourself to stop externalizing, that's going to help you through that process that you have to go through anyway, that you will, right? It makes it smoother. So that's what I help with, but it's not mandatory. You guys are going to do it anyway. It's nature, it's life, it's how it works. So this thing that's happening with this person, I don't even know. They probably left so many things by now because now I've been doing it for 40 minutes. And instead of me working on my clay, I can't. I feel unsettled. Um, like talking to a friend is not going to help. Um, nothing. Yeah, I have to. I have to do this video. Yeah. So I think that's everything. I hope that let's see. I don't feel finished though. I don't know. I think also people have this impression of me that because I am being kind and patient and I'm doing this, they either think I'm arguing or that I'm a pushover or something. And they don't understand that I know all parts of myself and I actually will be very, like, if someone does think the second one, I will be very blunt with them. I will not be the same kind of, I guess, soft landing that I normally am. If someone's disrespectful, I will humble them. And I will do it with love still. So, like this, what I'm doing in this video. Because this is absolutely. I told them, I said, can you imagine just walking up to someone in the street and saying this? It's just. And not hearing them out. Like, I can understand if they understood and they really showed me they understood what I said and they said, I still disagree. I would be actually, I'd respect that. But they don't. This person is just going off on their random thing. And I just, there's just so much in it. It's the trigger I have. It's this person, what they're, that they specifically came to me, that they not once have acknowledged it. They just keep saying, oh, I hope God comes to her. And I'm like, I don't think you have spoken to God because that's inside you. Everything they've talked about is external. Even their experience is external. It's missing God because God is inside you. It's infinity. So everything outside is a creation or expression from not God. It's other things mixed with God sometimes. Sometimes it's just cannibalism, like I said. So like it anyway. I think I'm done. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm done. I don't know, I just there's a lot going on with this and I know I always go back to the people like there's these people online that are talking about these topics kind of that this person's complaining about and I'm not talking about these topics. And I feel like these keep coming up and I don't know why because I can understand if people were seeing it. I'd be like, "Okay, well that's why, right?" But I don't know why is this person wasting their time and wasting my time? And again, I'm going to always make it into something that's good for all of us. But why are they wasting their time on this with me when I continuously keep saying that I'm helping them within and they continuously bring things that are externalized, like God's and the Bible? Those are things are not. I didn't know that the Bible was inside this person. I mean, in a way, it kind of is, but the way they're looking at it, no, it's not. But in a way, everything is inside you. So in a way, it is actually in you. But like, I'd say it's a different version of it. Okay. Anyway, I think that is enough. Um, yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Bye. Okay. Let's see how this works. Okay.